Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to make a G8 Tiltrak system. This one here is one way, one bunch, and the very first step here to make this blind is obviously to have the headrail and the rod. And now really the very first step on making this blind is to drill the either side of the headrail, to drill little holes for the end set. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm using control end for this blind. It has two holes in it. It has two holes in it, and I'm using it as a sort of like as a template to drill those holes, because then I'm gonna have to insert this inside and then use the screws to fix it in place. Okay, so first thing is to drill those two holes. The holes have to be drilled on those two little grooves here. I'm using the smallest drill bit for it. Okay. And the same on this side. Okay, once the headrail is drilled, we can start preparing the runners for it. And what it is, you can easily find out how many runners you will need for the blind. If you work off the worksheet, it is specified here, number of vanes, 15, or you can spread them out alongside the headrail or the tilt rod. It doesn't matter really. This is a sample blind, right? So I'm using this paperwork as an example only. For this blind, we'll need less than 15 blinds. But if you work off the paperwork, that's where you can find the amount of runners you will need for the blind. 15 here. Okay. As I said, now I'm gonna prepare the runners for it, and we do two sizes of runners for this kind of blind. It's 89 millimeters runners and 127 millimeter runners. I'm gonna use 89 millimeters for this one, so I need to use 89 millimeter links first. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna link the links first, and the way to link them up is pretty easy as well. Just go to link it up onto it from underneath. I'll show it to you again. There's like a narrower bit right next to the end of the link here, and basically it clips on just like this. Very easy. So link them up like that. And like I said before, you can use the paperwork or the headrail or the tilt rod themselves as a guide to know how many links you need for the blind. As so. Now we need to attach the runners themselves onto the links. These are the runners for a G8 Tiltrak system, and the trick is now they all have to be attached to the links the way, so they all tilt the same way. They have to be tilting to the right hand side. Just clip them onto the link like that. remember, I'll repeat that all runners have to be tilting to the right hand side. Okay, and now on the very last link here, I'm gonna put the cord drive runner. It's slightly different to the rest of the runners. It's a type of runner, but it's got a hole in it, and the hole enables us to attach the cord onto it. So it's basically, when the cord is attached to it, it runs the runners back and forth. Okay, all the runners are linked up now, so we can just put them all together like that. And put them on the rod. Okay, now on the left hand side of the blind, I'm going to use a 20mm spacer tube. It always goes on the left hand side of the blind. And then spoko, nie przejmuj się tym, ja to wytnę później, jakby co, nie? Okay, and then I'm gonna put on the rod the idle ends. This is the control side end, and on the opposite side I put the idle end. That's the cover for the control side. I can't put it on yet. We'll have to string the blind first, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do next. The next step of the blind is stringing the blind. Now, to determine the size of the cord you need for this blind, is pretty easy as well. It all can be found on the paperwork again. The control length is the drop size of the controls of the cord and the chain. So it's this measurement plus the length of the blind. So again, the length of the blind plus the control length, which is 980, plus 30 millimeters to attach the cord onto the runner. So it's 990 plus 30 is 110 millimeters. And now I'm doubling the whole length over. Very useful tip is I always do that. I burn the ends of the cord a little bit to make them a bit harder and pointy as well. This helps me to cord the blind much easier, to put them through the runners much easier. Okay. Now I'm gonna string the blind. The first end of the cord goes through the closer channel on the runners here. here, all the way out, all the way down here. It comes out on the other side of the runners. Then there are two little wheels on the idle end here. Actually, I can take it out, it's much easier. Then plug in all the way down, and then I fit it through the cord drive runner here, and tie a little knot as close to the end of the cord as I can, like so. Okay, now the other end of the cord goes through the opposite channel on the runners here. Again, all the way down through the runners, and then through the same hole on the cord drive runner as I put the first end of the cord through, like so, and then I tie a little knot at the very end of the cord, again, like so. So the blind is strung now, and we can put all of it into the headrail now. And here there's like a little leg on each runner here, and this has to be inserted into a little groove in the headrail here. Now to secure the idle end in the headrail, I'm gonna those two screws on the idle end. Remember, I drilled those two holes in the first place at the beginning of making a blind. That's exactly where those two screws need to be screwed in. But actually, I can't use an electric screwdriver to do it because it's too thick. I'm gonna have to use normal screwdriver to do that. Like so. Okay. Now the other end of the blind. There's like a little slot here. That's for the cord to put in. So the cord goes into it like so, and then I'll put the end into the headrail, and again I'm gonna have to use those two screws here to secure this end in the headrail, like so. So the blind is strung now. Now we're gonna have to cut the chain to size and put it onto on the blind as well. And in order to do it, we'll need that little cog here and those wheels. So this little cog goes into the this slot in this end here, like so. And then I'm gonna measure the chain. It's the type of chain we use for this blind is either metal or plastic, but it's number 6. So to measure the chain is basically you use exactly the same measurement as we used for the cord. Control length 980. But then I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer, and then we'll trim it down using the length of the cord as our guide. So let's say I'm gonna cut it to 110 millimeters. Double it over. Now, this is kind of a tricky part of it, because to put it all together, the cord needs to go into on those little wheels here, and then the very bottom of the chain goes on the cog here. It's always the closer cog to you, not the furthest one. It's always this one. Like I said, it's the purchase part of the blind. This excuse me. And now this is the cover, and it goes in the control end, like so. And then I secure the whole thing with those 2 screws here. So our controls are prepared now. We've got our cord and the chain on the blind now. Now we can test if the blind if the runners run up and down nice and smoothly. We can also get the runners aligned now. It's very easy to align remember the runners has to be nice and neat, and they all have to be, the all pegs have to be straight. So to align them, you can just pull the chain until they start clicking. Just do it twice or 3 times. Okay, and then we need to make sure that the very first runner on the control side is our stationary runner, so it needs to be secured in place as well. And to do it, I use the anchor, the clear anchor. Just goes on the headrail, just like this, simple as that. And the very last step is to put trim the chain to size. The chain has to be slightly longer than the cord, let's say by 10 to 20 millimeters. So, like I said, I'm going to use the length of the cord as my guide, and then I'm gonna trim the chain slightly longer than the cord, say by there. And then link the loose ends of the chain with the chain connector, like so. And the very last step on making this blind is to put the child safety device on it, and we use P-clips as a safety device for this blind. And basically you take one side of the cord and one side of the chain and clip it inside of the P-clip, like so, and a safety tag. It's like a warning information. And basically that's it. The our blind is done now, and it can be packed now. Job done.